All right, guys. So, is the camera ready? Yes. All right, I'm gonna give like a fucking clap. Okay. It's all right. I appreciate the scream. This is Loose Lips, episode 1, volume 1. I don't know how we're doing this yet. We're here with Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel.
Put on this fantastic open mic here at Shillelagh Tavern and is responsible for many other great events in the Queens area and beyond soon. Yeah. Mayhaps. Right here we have Abuctees.
Absolutely, yeah.
Enough said, right? Yeah, enough said. Wow. Right here we got Spenz.
Spenz over here.
Spenz, something happened that was pretty special at this open mic. You want to share with people at home what popped off?
I had to bring my most talented friend. One of my most talented friends, Swero. You know?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's hear from him for a second. So, before we get into anything else, tonight was your first public performance.
That's a fact, yeah.
What about the environment tonight made you want to get up on stage and perform?
Man, it was just good energy out here tonight, man. I saw the way y'all responded to everybody that came on, gave them open arms, showed them love, and honestly, this wasn't even planned. This was some last minute shit, man. Spence came out here. I came out here to show my support. Next thing you know, I'm on stage. I don't even know how it happened, but
you did absolutely fantastic. But now there's a beautiful thing about coming out and performing in situations like this, right? And it gives you opportunities to learn, right? None of us know what the fuck we're doing, right? We're all just making it up as we go. Thank you for making up some stuff with us, all right?
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
So I asked everybody this question as things were going on. Why do you make music? There's a very important counter question that needs to be asked the man who made all of this possible, Miguel. Why is music so important to you?
That's interesting. Like, for me personally, I'm working in the music scene, managing a band in the neighborhood, getting ripped off of money, having to have big draws, playing all over Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and I was having a career change in my life. And what I found connecting myself really was I would be out in the Astoria scene every night, checking out bands, making a relationship with these bands. So when we decided to go public and create Astoria Music Collective, the whole policy was that we would try to look out for our own people, try to put our own people on, try to celebrate our local scene, and subsequently, our scene's been. We're a hybrid of.
I'd say bustling.
Everywhere.
I'd say your scene is bustling.
Yes, it's definitely on the super come up.
Hell yeah.
So.
Now just like a follow up to that, right? You got a lot of different open mics going on within the context of Astoria Music Collective. I've been to several. Every single one has its own different flavor and feel. How do you go about getting that in place, and how do you go about maintaining a separate feel for each open mic?
Well, the separate feel comes from the bars, and really, I think the players react to the atmosphere. We try to work in warm places to support local music. The energy of that takes its place. Like Shillelagh might be high wired and super energy, and then local might be laid back, and then Woodside is its own separate thing. But it's really the best place for really to really meet. It's like friends and family more than anything else. And what a blessing! In New York City, the quality of talent is here.
Hell yeah!
You're gonna go dirty outlaw country,
to
super hard hip hop to
and it's all beautiful and it's all good. And I am sorry to be fucking repetitious here. I said it when this started off. I've never gone to an open mic that I felt adequately represented New York City's music scene. I don't think that's possible. We're in Queens right now. Sorry, Brooklyn, I gotta bang on my chest for a second. It's the most culturally diverse borough in the most culturally diverse city in the world. It's like Epcot and Disney World, but you might get stabbed in certain places.
Facts.
And that makes it fucking beautiful too. So it's having grown up in Queens, having grown up in New York City, you go to an open mic and you just see all of one thing. You know for a fact that that's not how this goes. Now, for you guys, I'm going to switch the question and over here. This is a group question for a second. What has your experience been with open mics or just performing in New York City in general? We know yours, but for you other two.
So from now, like right now, this is my 8th performance this year.
Congratulations.
So,
let's hear it for his 8th performance.
Yeah, give it up, give it up.
So from the beginning, with this whole thing, it was a lot of nerve wracking because when you performing at first, you're worried about how people are gonna feel about your music. You're always worried about those type of things and then you start to forget that the reason why you're doing it is because you're doing it because you love to do it. It doesn't matter what people are thinking, but it's just like when I'm performing, I love the energy. I just love communicating with the people, looking eye to eye with people, allow them to feel my lyrics if they understand and feel everything I'm doing. So it's a great experience. I enjoy doing it. So
now you touched on something that I think is probably important to all of us. You kind of discussed music as being a way to communicate directly with people. And do you think that there's more to that in terms of, is music primarily a means for us to talk on an equal level, or has it become everybody else talking down? Let's let.
I'll tell you. So I think that something that we don't think about is the fact that all music before about 70, 80 years ago was folk music. It was people who were wandering minstrels who went from town to town with their caps, picking up a shilling or a penny or whatever they could get from here to there. This music wasn't recorded, None of it was recorded, none of it was out there. But if somebody wanted a good time and somebody was like a local musician or got a reputation together, they would go to another place. It's only in the last, X number of years, starting with when sheet music started printed and sold, that the music industry was commodified. And I think that with what we have now with YouTube, with the avenues that are open to people, is that we have the power to take it back. And if something's good, people can find it. And if it's people rallying around an artist or a song or what somebody does, then that can become a hit. We don't need things like the record industry. The record industry itself is imploding. Right? It doesn't serve anything other than the people who are already famous at this point. You look at the big records that have been released in the last year or so, like commercially for pop music. It's people like Adele. They make music for mums, middle of the road. People like Bruce Springsteen are selling their back catalogue for $60 million. The people who are running the music industry only are interested in the past. So the future is up to us as people to start again, to take it down to the grassroots level, to take it from town to town, build a story, build a song, and then take it from place to place. That's how we reclaim this thing back, and I think it's what's going to happen eventually.
It's like you touched on an interesting point, and I pretty much threw a word soup question at you, so thank you for actually understanding what I was saying first of all. That's all right. Where I was trying to come from that is, do we make artistry seem to be something more than it is? There's always a part of me that thinks that, you'll hear someone, I always wanted to be a rock star. Well, what the hell? Go get a goddamn guitar and go learn some shit. And when you get good enough, or when you feel like, you can put up with what people are giving you if you're not good, go out and perform. I feel like we've complicated things a little bit more. You have any, obviously based on your accent, you're not originally from Brooklyn.
No, I'm clearly from Turkey, but yes.
Do you notice a difference in the music scenes that you've experienced in your life?
Yeah, the thing that remains the same from all the big cities that I've lived in, which have been New York, Los Angeles, London, is that the aspect of getting out in front of people hasn't really changed, and that is that if you've got a lot of money behind you, or if you're willing to pay, then you can go really far. But
like you guys know that, right? Sorry to interrupt, but 8 shows, 1 show under the belt. You know that if someone's saying that you got to put up money to perform, to turn around and just walk away, right? Seriously, there are plenty of opportunities. What did I say to you before? If you're hungry, there's always a seat at the table. There are plenty of Miguels. There's not only one Miguel, but there are plenty of people who got their heart in the right place, like Miguel, who are putting on these opportunities. Like to transition to you guys, Miguel touched on this in a little bit. You identified yourself in an interview I heard previously with the drill scene.
Yeah.
and a lot of real talents come out of the drill scene, and a lot of real tragedies come out of the drill scene.
Exactly.
We have the current mayor in New York blaming drill for violence. Music don't shoot people. Music doesn't run guns from the south up to the city. It's getting to the point now where everyone in the city might know through 6 degrees of separation a victim of gun violence.
Exactly.
How does that make you feel as someone trying to take a different, more like self-identifying positive approach to hear your mayor say that about your art?
Like I said, the key word you said was art. Art is really what you make it. Like anything you do, if you love it, it's art. So with this whole drill scene I'm trying to get into, that I'm trying to take over, I'm more like in the middle of the side where it's violence, people look at it as violence, and then the side where it's actually people talking the real meaning into it, talking real life stories into it. Because how I look at drill, how I look at any type of music, you're storytelling, or rap music, you're storytelling. So it's like, my version is I'm telling my experience from both perspectives. My perspective, and then the perspective of somebody who might be doing the violence, where it's like so people can understand the message that it doesn't always got to be like that. The mayor doesn't have to make it like that.
Something that I've never understood. Like this comes with a grain of salt. I'm a fucking long-haired, skinny white guy. Right? But there seems to be a disconnect with the audience on a larger scale than I think I realize sometimes. That just because you don't talk about something, just because you don't hear about something, doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Exactly.
I'm of the thought process that anything that's true is worth hearing. And, at the end of the day, as long as something's authentic,
exactly.
I can get behind that.
Exactly.
Now, gotta ask a question to the new guy over here. Let him know your name one more time.
Swero in the building, y'all.
Swear
Here we
in
go.
the house.
Learning moment. Don't cut your mic, boy.
There you
All
go.
right.
There you go.
Broke his
now-
stage virginity tonight.
Broke your stage
Hell yeah.
virginity tonight.
Absolutely.
Now, so we clearly sound different than you guys. You clearly sound different than us. We clearly sound different than Abuctees. Abuctees sounds different than Spenz, etc., etc., etc. When you are going to make music, how does that process begin?
I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all a process, because honestly speaking, it really varies. But I feel like it all starts with feeling. You listen to a song, you have an experience, you go out with your friends, whatever the case may be, it gives you a feeling. And I feel like once you get that feeling, it's simple. All you gotta do is just paint that vision for your audience. And that's how I go about making my music personally. I want it to be art, so I go about it as art. Like I make sure each lyric makes somebody feel something, and I make sure that my shit is relatable to somebody whose everyday life is just, like even average Joes, whatever the case may be, like however you live your life, I want you to feel what I'm saying and have it resonate with you.
Communication.
Yeah.
As equals. That's a lovely thing.
Yo, that's amazing. Can I interject for a second? My name is
That's
Tony.
Tony. He plays drums for the Loosies. We
Long
like
time
him.
listener, first time caller. So something I want to mention is that you touched upon art. You touched upon art, and in my personal opinion, whatever medium that the art is that you're receiving is there to make you feel feelings. So at the end of the day, if someone is feeling feelings, good, bad, in between, melancholy, who the fuck knows? Then you win. You did it. You did the thing. So I completely agree with your definition of art. Swear.
Yo, let's give it up for the insightful opinion from the back.
Oh,
Good job,
boy,
Tony.
Oh boy.
So, Andy, we were talking before. Abuctees
book
is
of
this
fortune
wonderful
cookies.
project you have going on. You have a fantastic music video out now. You shot that
you.
yourself?
Yes, well, I must give a shout out to my cinematographer, my girlfriend, who
Shouts out to my wife,
a
who's
whole
currently
day,
doing cinematography. Yeah, that's how it goes.
spent a whole day with me dressed as a mime, which was interesting.
Yeah, right? Wasn't that dope?
It was good. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I kind of...
I think that one of the things that's important for anybody who is an artist now is that you have an opportunity to present more than just like a song. You can present a visual sort of impression of how that song feels, or whatever. Like, music videos never used to be important. Now
Yes.
they're much more important than ever. And I think that just having a package and having something to, to really show who you are as a person helps to define
Serious
that.
question, and you don't have to answer this if this is uncomfortable. Sorry for spring. How much was the budget for that video?
I mean, I think I spent about $40 on the makeup and the hat.
That's my point. It comes across. Miguel was like, "Oh yeah." It comes across as an honest, heartfelt video.
Yeah.
It's the question that I butchered before asking you. It doesn't really take much to go out and make great art. It just takes an idea and the stubbornness to keep pushing when it seems like it's not worth it.
Conviction is at the authenticity and conviction are at the forefront of making something groundbreaking.
Now, this is the last question. I'm going to kind of pose this for all of you. This is something that kind of came up on the spot. For those of you who are have no idea who I am, sometimes, all the time, most of the time, I rap. I'm an MC. Something that became very apparent to me through my last cycle through New York City's hip-hop scene is I noticed more and more young acts coming up and not performing over instrumentals. You performed over an instrumental today. You performed over a double track. Very freaking well, might I add. And I gotta say, having seen that come up through the scene, people didn't know what they were doing at first, man. I want to give you the ups for that, because there's apparently there's a right way and a wrong way, and you got the right way.
Straight up.
Andy, you self-identified as a bedroom producer. Miguel, you've been out here fucking seeing this for a long time. Can you explain, just to both of you, the thought process between going with the studio recorded vocals on the performance track as opposed to an instrumental? Why you think it helps? What you think about the situation? Why you guys choose? Or why you don't see that very often?
What he did though was one of the right ways to do it, to me personally, because I feel like rapping over instruments, you want people to hear the song, right? But hearing just your voice and nothing else behind it, it's like it's different type of feeling to it. Because when he was rapping, I was feeling everything, But also with me rapping with my vocals and everything, also it brings energy into the room too. Because the track is mixed and mastered and edited perfectly well, you wanted the whole room to feel it. You want everything to feel the vibe, dance a little, everything. So both ways, it's just.
Do you know where that comes from? Performing over your own studio track?
I just feel like it's what the natural culture was around.
For me, it's always been shitty fucking PAs at clubs. You know what I mean? You can definitely speak to that. Tonight's
a lot of shitty fucking PAs.
So if I was in a place with an unreliable PA that was packed with a lot of people, that the acoustics were measured, I'd have to consider that shit too.
Yeah.
But part of where I'm bringing it up is you said what he did is the right way. Yeah. No one wants you to fucking think that. You did a fantastic job performing tonight. However, it might be bring the right tool for the right job.
Exactly.
Andy, can you speak to that as the producer? All I can say about recording is that you want to, if you've written a song, you want to record it as early as possible to try and lock in as much energy as you can. Because it's like an nth degree. It's you got to try and get the essence of it down and the excitement of it down. And if you don't do it quick enough, then sometimes it'll just completely lose it and fall flat. So just to try and lock in that energy. That's all I can say.
Miguel, as someone who's running multiple events, do you have any input, preference, thoughts?
Well, it depends on what we're talking especially with hip hop stuff. I am a very old man, so I'm come from so I grew up a lifelong hip hop fan. So I'm come from the era of a DJ and a microphone like that.
Yeah.
So the aspect of it is where it's live
spinning wax.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you don't even have to spin wax.
No,
you just need somebody with a good setup so you can just plug it into the house.
You just need a laptop.
You plug it into the house, and if you don't have a shitty PA, which a lot of places do, we've already discussed this. Mm-hmm. But if you run into a good house and somebody has the song, plug it into a laptop, into a house, controllable. But yeah, I also I'll speak to the same thing that Spence was saying is because he was rapping over the backing track, it created an energy in the room. Because he was rapping without a backing track, and created emotional content to the room.
You know, like seriously, I said before.
And that's
like,
also like opinions are like assholes. That's just mine.
Well, no, that's a pretty profound thing to like hear. The objective reality is if you're out here performing every opportunity you get, you're going to perform on some subpar equipment. Anything that you could do to give yourself more consistency in each performance, I say you take that. Especially if you're doing it at the skill level that you pulled off today. I'm not trying to, I just think that these are things that musicians need to think about. Miguel, thank you very much for your insight.
Well, thank you very much,
Shout out to
Teddy.
Miguel.
Yeah,
Spenz.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Abuctees, thank you for coming out.
Abuctees.
Matthew and
Matthew
Tony
pushing
of the
buttons.
Loosies. And my man, let them know one more time. Pop that stage cherry today. What's the name?
Swear on the building, y'all. Thank you for having me.
Get it.
Good night, everybody.
We got Teddy over here on the main mic. The recording apparatus, if you will.